wanted to show that, because a lot of districts don't know much about it, so.
What about, and you and I had not talked about this, I wrote several questions I had down, what about summer? I don't know if we did this past summer, but we had, provided food to kids that are, we know there's kids that are not getting enough to eat, especially during the summer. Is there any opportunity for that, and any funding for that during the summer to be able to do it, is my question.
Well, but there's a non-congregant, and I don't know if the date, I don't know, we'll have to look and see. Okay, May 15th, oh, that's right here, but that.
What's that mean?
So, it's a summer
apply for
feeding.
that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I can speak on that a little, we do that in my other district in Canton. And it's 7 days a week, the non-congregate summer feeding, 7 days a week, it is packaged, there's a menu, and you can do it in any number of ways. They pick up 3 days one day and 4 days the next, they could pick up an entire week at a time, or you could even conceivably do it daily if you have enough, but it is also free to anyone who signs up, and it's just like she said earlier, you just have to have, and what they do in Canton, they send out a Google Doc, and they have families sign up, and then they can just come and pick up their meals on the pickup days. So that would be something, I don't know with the deadline being tomorrow, is it Wednesday? You would have to.
We're approved for seamless summer, which we would have to open our kitchen to anyone that would request up to 18.
Up to 18.
Yeah, for a summer school
Okay.
calendar.
Yeah.
So if you're approved for seamless summer, my assumption would be that you would also qualify for the non-congregate, because that is how it is in Canton as well. So, that would be a program that would keep your staff working all summer and also keep your kids fed all summer. It's kind of a win-win, that's why we do it in Canton, is to keep the kids fed and to keep our people employed.
And
Sorry.
well, they have a chart, and it's for rural communities with low, and with free and reduced, high free and reduced.
Do you know what the free and reduced percentages offhand for the?
So like 50.
You have to be 50% or higher.
50%.
Or
Or
there's a map.
somewhere,
There's a map.
there's
that
a
shows-
map. Some of them have slid in, like you look on the map online and see if your district is in that map, basically. Non-congregant, there's a map.
Extra events, we have extra events, let's say, sports banquets or whatever, is that covered? Or, your group would provide food,
Yes.
Yep.
for that?
Yeah, we do
We
catering.
do a catering.
How many one thing we talked about, just so the group knows, is how many meals or how many main courses are provided? Right now, I think they get one main course a day. What would your group be providing to the kids?
So basically, whatever you guys wanted to do, like menu wise, we could probably do it. If that's what you're talking, are you talking about the
Yeah.
caterings?
No,
Oh,
on the daily for the students,
Right.
how many?
4 for high school, middle school, 3 for elementary.
And you would provide 4 different ones each day where they're getting one?
Well, high school does, we do a pizza every day, pizza option every day.
Okay.
We have a combo basket every day, different, interchanging. Could be like sauce chicken, popcorn chicken, or it could be a hot dog, could be a corn dog, could be anything with fries in a basket. And we have our, signature selection, which is just one of our scratch made items.
So like chicken Alfredo or,
Yeah.
something like that.
Meatloaf
Yeah, meatloaf.
or spaghetti.
And then the fourth one is, like a salad bar or sub bar.
Sub bar, so it
Sub
would be a
cold
cold
option.
item, like turkey
Open
leg
bar.
wrap or, the, club sandwich is a really popular one. At elementary school level, we do the to-goes, and that is like a homemade pizza munchable, like the Lunchables that you can buy in the grocery store, we do those that are whole grain homemade, for the kids for elementary, and middle school as well, so there's lots of different options.
If we get audited, you would be responsible. I mean, like Tony mentioned previously, Linda, if we got audited, Linda would have been the one going around with it. This would be your all's responsibility. If, are you, do they just show up, or do they give you
Usually
notice
email
ahead
us,
of time?
yeah.
Okay.
They'd probably email Tony and then send it on to whoever the director is.
Okay.
How do you work with, kids with food allergies and stuff? I mean, is there,
We work closely
does
with
the
the
school
nurse.
contact you all,
Yeah,
and then y'all make a menu or have an option that they can?
yeah.
So one thing that is really cool in the last year and a half that we have is our menu software. It goes through it's called Healthy Pro and My School Menus. And you are able to, on the website, filter our menu for allergens. And it takes out, so if you put in that you have a gluten allergen, then it shows everything on the menu that is safe for the child to consume. That being said, also when we have documentation from parents, doctors signed that they have, say, a dairy allergen, then we would then provide soy milk or whatever. If it's a gluten allergen, whether it be through Kohl's or if we locally source gluten-free items that are comparable to what would be on our normal menu. And we do a lot of that, a lot of working hand in hand with that.
The interaction with the school website and your menu, how do you handle that?
There would be a link that we would give, and you can put it wherever you would have it now on your school website, and it would take parents directly to that. I know you guys have Infinite Campus as your student information system. Like touching on that a little bit, they'd be able to go in, see their lunch counts no differently than how you guys do that now. And I know that we have a link to the menu on the food service page on the websites at both of the districts that I am in.
How many weeks out do you usually do menus?
So the menus are usually done about 2 weeks before the month begins, and published. But as far as cycle, it's a 21-day menu cycle for compliance reasons, but we have the menus done 2 weeks and published before the beginning of the following month. So, for example, if school was still going on in June, by now we would have menus published, because we're 2 weeks till the beginning of the next month.
So that, you talking about the employees, the current one would be on the MO retirement system. Are they, those employees still paid through the school district, or would they be through this?
Through the school district.
Okay, and until that turns over,
Yeah, any person that were to, any wooded areas, any positions that would need to be hired, would be hired.
okay. And your billing frequency to the school is
Monthly
Monthly.
invoice,
monthly,
Mhm.
okay.
and it shows exactly lunch, breakfast, a la carte, it's broken down, and then you see your commodity credit. So when we're talking commodity credit, the school district gets free commodities. And so we give back, we don't take any of that, we give it, we purchase,
We
order it, I should say, and then we give you back 56 cents per meal on that invoice. So you will see that refund each month. So,
Is there, I already know the answer here, but I don't know if they do, but is there any cost increase to the students versus what we're charging them this year?
you set that, that's totally the
Yeah,
district
we
that sets that.
incrementally try to
Mhm.
keep moving forward with
Yeah.
that. We get held accountable to the state by that as well. Like, we need to be showing that we're trying to cover our
Gradually
expenditures with the revenue that we capture. So we have to keep moving that forward as inflation
Yeah.
impacts food costs.
I asked it just so the group would know. How are you able to compete? Like I said, you're coming in at the cost or just under the cost of what it cost us to do it ourselves. How are you able to do this?
Well, I mean, I'll say the buying power is huge for us. We buy tractor trailer loads, you know, cause we have 100+ schools in Missouri, and then we broke into another state today, Texas, so, you know, we're in 9 states now. And so the buying power and it's quality food, it's Tyson, it's Sara Lee, I mean, it's not, when you think of the food, it's not low grade food, it's high end food, but we buy so much. I mean, that's one thing that's totally huge in this, yeah.
South Shelby uses this,
Yes.
I guess what you had said.
Montgomery,
Palmyra.
Palmyra, yeah, there's several around here that I have.
Paris, Madison.
Paris, Madison, Macon, Moberly,
Yeah.
Highland.
So you've talked to some of the other schools and they're like it?
Um,
Everybody's seen how.
There's just that added layer of benefits to having someone in the niche part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they know what they're up against.
And to speak on it, was mentioned very briefly, the auditing, I just finished up an audit in Palmyra. Since this new, the software system that I told you guys about with the menu, and the allergens and stuff, that same software system takes care of your nutrition compliance. And I went through the audit in Palmyra and we had no findings. So it really takes a lot of that, keeps track of all of your labels. There's a lot of things that you have to keep track of for your nutrition compliance, and that's part of what brings to the table too, is that that system does a lot of that for us and helps us keep track of that for the districts.
What are your roles within this, and like how's the hierarchy? You know, I know we have a director here, but then there's like one of you are probably a regional person over. How does that work?
That would be me, I'm the regional person.
You're the regional
Yeah,
person, so are
yeah.
you over like how many
I
schools?
have- I have 19 accounts right now, all the way from Jeff City to Clark County.
Okay.
So I have Palmyra, I have Shelby, I got Lewis, I got Knox.
A lot of those that we just named are hers.
Yeah.
And then I am the director for Palmyra and Canton. So I am, is it Denisha?
Yes.
I am what you guys are wanting Denisha to be. I am the director and take care of Palmyra and Canton. So I keep track of all of the staffing and ordering and all of that stuff for Palmyra and Canton.
And I'm business development.
Okay.
I pretty much come in and visit with the superintendent or whoever, the assistant, whoever's available, which in this case would be Tony, and make sure everything's going well and, just, yeah. And then she does the same thing, but then I report back if I hear something or, I call right away and, so. We're just all support. We're not gonna just sell you and then leave. We're gonna be here, we're gonna get to know your cooks. I mean, I know Tony, and the walkthrough was very thorough, and, I will say your employees, it was really nice to visit with them. They were very positive, and, it was a breath of fresh air. Your kitchens are unbelievably nice.
Yes,
I mean,
kitchen's
they
beautiful.
are, they are in tip-top shape.
Is it-
Clean,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is there a contract, I don't know if we can talk about this yet, is there a contract, and if there is, which I would assume that there is, how long is the contract for?
so the contract is a 5-year, you did the 5-year fixed, so that pricing is for 5 years, so Tony can budget. With every year, you will vote, for renewal, you will have a renewal each year.
For
the
an
next-
additional year onto the,
Yes,
you'll have
Yeah.
4 years and then vote
Mhm.
for an additional 5th year.
so every 5 years you have to rebid, or if something goes wrong, which very rare, I mean, I don't have any that, then you could go back out to bid, or you can, that's your choice.
There's really not another platform that the State Department gets involved in on the bidding process, no more so than this food service. Like, our whole process had to be vetted by DESI. And then we had the approval to go out for bids at that point based on our expenditures and the information that we provide them on food counts usage and things like that, so, there's nothing more expensive on the bidding process. You could bid a brand new school building and they would not be involved as much as they are in food service.
So if this goes, you two on the ends would be, we would be working with you all, the majority of the time.
So I'm on Kayla's training team and would be here to start the school year out, to help everybody get everything lined out and straightened out as well with Kayla.
And I have several others that would be on my team as well. We usually do like an orientation day. I'd like to try to just formally meet everybody and get their information, do an orientation, and then we go into like a 2-week training period. So that we're training like the director and, the rest of your staff. So yeah, and then basically there's support all around the.
I live halfway between Palmyra and Monroe City, so I have no plans to get you started and then walk away. I'm not built like that, and
Same.
I've been with Palmyra and Canton for a long time and would be happy to do what I can here too.
Yeah, both of us have a lot of experience in training. We both in several new districts. I helped open the first one that was in Indiana, and it was awesome. So it's been a good experience for both of us.
So how many food service staff do we currently have that will be here next year?
We have 8.
8.
But that's broken up some part-timers,
Sure.
some have extended hours per day.
So how many employees, if you were to come in and bring your own employees, how many would you expect
Well,
for
so
a school our size?
Oh,
Yeah, we're not expected to bring in.
no, we were just,
In the
just
event of,
training.
in the
Yeah.
event that one of
Yeah.
ours would
Well, I
step
know.
away or do something like that, then they would.
I'm just
replace
curious.
Oh, you're
if
thinking
you-
meals per hour, like.
Well, are we overstaffed or understaffed
them.
based
We
on
gauged
what
it kind
you
of,
would
it was
do?
pretty equal, especially if we expand our service to that after-school meal. So
Yeah.
we definitely looked at that, yeah.
Well, and expanding your service and the number of options, because it takes more labor to put that many options, so you would be able to retain the staff you have. And if you do qualify and start CACFP, that's more opportunity for more,
Kids, hours.
yeah,
So the more
the
kids
more
that are
kids,
eating,
the
the more hours.
more,
Yep.
more kids we feed, the more staff there is.
So if we do need to hire more people, then we can.
And how do you, so in going forward, you will be doing the hiring as ours fall or retire or whatever.
Along
How do
with,
you pay and how's your retirement compared to us for those
so,
employees?
so we pay minimum wage, for sure, in our districts. And, we offer 401k, we don't offer retirement, but we do the 401k match after they've been with us. We do offer employees insurance. So we try to be comparable to what you guys are already doing. I mean, the difference is you're paying all of their insurance, I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, it would be through attrition that they would come to our side, and then that's how, what we would offer.
So then, another question I have is, portion size or, how do you handle? I'm sure that's all, I'm just ignorant on this, but
Well, we follow the state guidelines.
I'm sure that's all
No, it's
written
good
down, what
questions.
you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
do.
Yeah, so, our menus, we have to follow the menus
Compliance.
and stay in compliance. So we will keep you in compliance. When she said she had an audit with no findings, that means we did everything right in the State Department's eyes, so.
Yeah, we get 5 tater tots here. I only eat 5 tater tots at home. I eat more than 5 tater tots.
Adult, like when teachers and like staff come through the line, we do give them more.
We try.
Yeah, we do. I know, do you?
Yes,
Yes.
I absolutely.
So how does,
Those tater tots.
Yeah.
a
I mean, obviously,
senior
if you
compared
pay for-
to a 5th grader, is it different as they get older?
Yes,
So there's K through 5,
6
6 through 8,
and
then
9 through 12.
And each one gets a larger portion,
9 through
9 through
is
12.
that correct?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically that's the concept.
And I don't know how good a job we do at that now currently. Just, we're just trying to survive at this point. I mean, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, as a
So, and
staff,
as far as that goes to, we do, so the baskets that she mentioned earlier it's a cheeseburger and fries, but they also have the option to go through a full fruit and vegetable bar, and that is all part of their meal. If they take that basket with the cheeseburger and fries, that is a compliant reimbursable meal. That's all they would have to take. But they do have the option to get a tray and go through that full fruit and vegetable bar. We have a salad on it every day. At least one fresh fruit, several vegetables, a canned fruit, and that is all an option every single day, and it's different every day. That is one of the, they can take as much as they want off of that, and that comes as part of their first meal. And then we also do, which I know that you guys do to an extent, have an a la carte program where they can come back and buy seconds of hot entrees or bags of chips, or if they have money on their accounts. That's just kind of up to what you guys decide, kind of programs that you want us to run, but that is something that can be done as well.
So, I guess everything just costs more. I mean, if you're talking about things we would add, so that this number would go up if we wanted to do anything like that, is that right?
Not necessarily.
It'd be the cost out of the kids. The kids would have to pay
Kids
for
would
So
the
pay
they
for
would
it.
pay
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
second,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
basically.
The
No,
kids would
I
have to
didn't-
pay for a second.
I thought you meant
But as
your-
far as like the fruits and vegetables and all of that,
Right.
that is all
It's just
included
the way it
in
is.
what the kid pays for their first meal. Whether they pay, I don't know what your meal rates are here, but it $2.80 to $2.80 for lunch. If it's a full price student, they get everything. Now if they go back for extras, then they have to pay for that additionally, but that is all included in the price of the first meal. And staff has whatever your staff meal price is, and at least in the districts that I do now, I do not limit what staff take. So you can have more than 5 tater tots, I promise.
Like I was saying, like I was gonna snowball.
I feel
but
a
you
lot
guys
of
are paying
complaints
for your
over
food too. You
staff
should
eats
get
the same
an
amount
adult
as the
portion,
kid.
you're paying an adult price.
And we offer
Yeah.
staff special,
Yeah.
that's something
Weekly.
that goes over
many
weekly
tater
with
tots you get?
teachers, they love that.
Do you think that this would take longer for our lunch shifts? Like with the kids and staff having choices and things?
To work your kinks out probably, I mean, maybe at the beginning, but once you get a system down, then no.
I mean, should they know before they come into the
Yeah.
cafeteria what choice they want?
So
The little
we,
kids
with I would say like your K through 4, that age group, we would ask for a lunch count ahead of time. So, the menu website that I talked about has pictures of what each entree is, so, I do know in one of the classes in Canton, she has printed off, everything, and she holds up, okay, this is what number 1 is today, this is number 2, this is number 3. They choose, and then, at our elementary levels, they would then line up number 1, number 2, and number 3,
Oh, that's cool.
That makes
to come
sense,
through.
yeah.
And that's how we had it at our primary, that's a great question. You put them by 1, 2, and 3, but if it was a kindergartner and they had a meltdown, I mean, naturally
We're
the
still gonna
cook
allow the
did
switch.
not, we let, once in a
You
while.
can still
they
change
just
your
let them
mind.
have the chickens.
we don't, it's not like, oh no, you can't.
Right.
Yeah. But,
They
No,
just
that's
bring-
good.
but if you can get them in, if you
And
can
I
get them
will
in the
say
1,
that
2,
it
and
has
3, it
some,
goes,
like getting
it goes pretty
when
quick.
you're having getting an assistant,
Chicken-
but once you get
chicken
a
strip
system,
for your tater
it
tots.
doesn't take long at all. I know that, so Palmyra's shifts are 22 minutes apiece, Canton's are about 30. But in the 22 minutes, and I'm just doing that because that's the shorter one, we have the kids each shift through the line in about 5 to 7 minutes, so they have 12 to 15 to eat. So, that just kind of, once we get a system in place, that shouldn't be an issue.
Has there been any findings that less kids bring their own lunch because of having more options? I was just curious. My daughter brings her lunch all the time, and I'm like, just eat the school food.
You know what we
But
kind of found, that's a great question. Something that I noticed in some of our cafeterias when we do to-goes, there's something about what I call the lunch boxers. They like to just go sit down, get their milk or whatever and sit down. You know, when they do the open to-goes, some of the lunchbox kids like that, where they can just get them and go to the table. I don't know if there's been findings per se, but you guys might be able
Yeah,
to
so
answer that.
last year, my boss and I, we did like a menu survey. We were trying out like a new menu, kind of like what we're running now, which would be the pizza every day. Like, we did a survey to a bunch of school districts around in Missouri, and just basically asked the students straight up, like, what do you want to see? And I mean, it was just overwhelming. Pizza, burgers, fries. You want, you know, they want that quick stuff that they can grab and go, and what they would eat at home. And I feel like we've seen an increase in participation since last year, after we did that survey. And we presented it to several school districts, and they were pretty excited about it. I know that my area that I was in last year, we piloted the menu, and I saw an increase in participation.
I feel like that would be the case too. I know when we did the pizza Wednesdays,
Yeah.
you know, my daughter's, I'm eating at school because we got pizza on
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely pizza overwhelmingly very popular.
Yeah. It's good.
Nachos is popular.
Nachos, yeah, super nachos.
Super nachos is very popular.
And we typically do like a chicken patty Wednesday. OPA does chicken patty Wednesday. Watch
Yeah.
out, kids come flying for chicken patties.
Chicken patty, and then we have like homemade meatloaf on those days, on that day too.
And they like the mashed potatoes and green
Yeah.
green beans, like, they go for that, so.
So do we need,
So I would say yes.
you need to vote on this? Any other questions before we entertain a motion?
Would you want to give more thought with your staff to the separate program and Tony?
Yeah, I think we can go down the road on that.
Yeah, go
We
down
can,
the road,
so,
so, yeah, I make a motion to adopt for the lunch program.
All in favor for the lunch program? Against? 6-1. All right. Let's see, we're gonna go to communications.
On the communication side, you'll see the dates, this Thursday, middle school graduation, 8th grade graduation, that'd be at the Danmont Gym. It starts at 7 o'clock, and then on Sunday, May 18th at 2 p.m., high school graduation. We would love to have you present for that.
Would you want us 10 or 15 minutes ahead?
Yeah, we'll just kind of gather there in the lobby.
Like we have been.
Yep, and the vice president usually gives ours out, for the middle school one, if they're gonna be there, so, too, so. But yeah, we'll have chairs and everything for you and programs on your seat, so all you gotta do is show up and walk out when I give you the head nod, we'll go out.
All right. Ready to go into closed session?
I make a motion to reserve the right to go into closed session at the next regular meeting or any meeting in the interim for personnel and litigation matters pursuant to RSMO 610.021, sections 3 and 13.
Second.
All in favor? 7:00. All right.
Thank you, Bud.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We look